It's not often that you get to hear about the sport called squash, especially in South Africa. But in recent times, the Olympic movement has introduced squash as one of the Olympic sports at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics in the United States of America. With me here, joining us, is Squash SA President Kyle Potgieter. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News and Sports Live. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.
First of all, let's just talk about the great news that, squash will officially be an Olympic sport at the 2028 Olympics in the USA. Just tell us more about that.
Yeah, we're very privileged to be included in the LA Olympics in 2028. It's been a long time we've been waiting to get in excess of 20 years. We've been turned down more than once, but we're very privileged to be in and very excited about it.
Now, let's just talk about the exciting news, especially for South African potential squash athletes and also those who are also already participating in the sport. What does it mean for them?
Well, it's definitely something more for them to work for. It's to get on the big stage. It's amazing for them. Our younger athletes, it's 2028, is 5 years away. So our athletes at school will all be could all participate in the 2028 Olympics. So we've already started working on a plan to get them there and hopefully get them on the world stage.
Let's just talk about the state of squash in South Africa. Just briefly summarize to us, how is the state of squash in the country?
Squash in South Africa is actually very good and very big at the moment. We have inter-provincials under 11, under 13, under 15, under 17, under 19. We have the main inter-provincial as well as masters inter-provincial, as well as singles and doubles. So we're in a very good spot at the moment.
A lot of the so-called minor sports, they always complain about funding, as perhaps an impediment to the sport development. How is the funding looking on your side?
So we're very lucky to have a main sponsor, GrowthPoint. GrowthPoint have assisted us a lot with funding over the last 3 or 4 years. We've played the SA Nationals in the V&A waterfront for the last 4 years. So we do battle, but we try very hard with the funds we've got to get our players exposed on the world stage. And
of course, now with couple of years ago now, before the 2028 LA Olympics, that seems like a very long time, but it's not really too long. Tell us, what will be a roadmap for you to make sure that you've got some of the athletes who are actually qualifying, and not just qualifying to add numbers, but to qualify there to compete, possibly to get medals as well?
We're definitely going to try and get medals. We've already started speaking to SASCOC. Mr. Barry Hendricks is always a squash, so we're very glad to have him. He's told us we have to wait for them to finish Paris Olympics, so we'll wait until then, and then we're going to get into the front door and see how they can assist us, so we can assist our players and coaches and get them much higher up on the world rankings.
Let's talk about the development part. We know squash is not one of the big three sporting codes like football, rugby and cricket. How is the development looking like, especially in the disadvantaged and underprivileged communities?
So part of our sponsor with GrowthPoint is that they assist us with our development. We have in excess of 30 development programs running at the moment. We've got Igoli squash, which is a big development program. So we're really trying hard, and I think if you went to the junior interprovincials, you'd be very surprised of the participation we have from all walks of life in South Africa.
How often do you participate in national competitions, be it in the junior categories and also in the senior categories throughout the year?
The junior, we all have a program that the players have to follow to be able to qualify for national selection. So there's a formal program in juniors as well as seniors. So the amount of tournaments, juniors would probably be 4 tournaments here they have to participate in, and the seniors probably 3. So it's very active at the moment.
And internationally, what are the prospects for the squash athletes here in South Africa?
Well, internationally, if we can get our athletes on the world stage more, because they have to travel from South Africa to Europe or South Africa to America, so it's very costly to get them there. But we do have players that are participating full-time, so we are trying very hard on that, and the players are putting a huge effort in from their side.
Kyle, thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News and Sports Live, and all the best for the future.
Thank you very much, and once again, thank you for having us.
That was Squash SA President Kyle Potgieter joining us right here on SABC News and Sports Live.